All right. Thank you for attending today's webinar. We are going to cover the upcoming release in automation related to sharing SmartCerts to your customers. Before we get into the good stuff, a few things to note. We are recording this, so there will be a replay provided to you. You could share with your team if you need to or refer back at any time. We will be providing more how-to actions related to the automation in an upcoming email, so don't feel that this needs to be the end-all, be-all with your training. It is more of just an overview of what to expect. If you do have questions at any time, feel free to drop them in either the Q&A section or the chat. If you hover over Q&A, you'll get a pop-up, or if you click on chat, you will receive a sidebar that you can comment in, which Chris has already very nicely started for us. Brianna and Terry are standing by, so feel free to drop in your questions at any time, and we'll also revisit those at the end. So if you haven't had a chance to communicate yet with Brianna and Terry, they are on my team. Customer support, customer success, so excited for the growth that we have with our teammates, and so glad they're here with me today. So two things we'll be covering. First are the updates related to your customer accounts that went live last month. Some of that did serve as a foundation for what's to come related to the automation. So I'll go over exactly how that functions. And then we'll talk about the automation that's really taking the share function that you've been using to send emails from the platform one step further. So without further ado, I mentioned updates to the customer experience. Based on your login, you may have also seen that the login page has been updated. We have streamlined registration, and every account now that gets created is based on a company. So that provides a great foundation for the automation that is to come, in addition to some really great tools available to your customers when they create an account. We've enabled the ability to add team members, so they can have up to 10 free users within their SmartCert account. This, when you think about it, provides another level of communication and support that you're providing them from a value-add service. We love the idea of adding in your quality manager. People are excited. We're seeing a lot of activity based on building teams so that they all have centralized access to inbound SmartCerts from you, from other suppliers. The real goal here is to create a self-service tool that everyone has access to, and we're really starting to eliminate challenges associated with tracking down paperwork and the time that it takes to support your customers once a shipment's been sent out. As I mentioned, these changes to the company accounts have served as a great foundation for what's to come. We have had a great first year, thanks to many of you. Some of our beta customers are on the call today, and they've been with us from day one. So much great feedback, wonderful conversations about where SmartCert is today and where it's going. We really have a strong vision of this evolving beyond the digital envelope for cert transfer and moving into providing standardized forms and a lot more document management attributes that are going to create a lot more efficiencies for you in its usage. Ultimately, SmartCert serves to help companies go digital, remove all the challenges associated with paperwork. And this transfer automation is really going to help create one step closer to less time spent having to create the information associated with the SmartCert and send it on your way. Less steps in creation and less steps for your customers. So many of you have provided SmartCerts with that QR code, which we'll talk about in a minute. This automation will be a great step forward for your customers too. The other exciting aspect that we've added to the platform is very clear insights on which SmartCerts have been sent and which may still be in a pending status. Maybe they are waiting for documentation. Perhaps it's new inventory that has yet to be assigned to a shipment, but I will be able to show you exactly what that will look like as well. As far as a date goes for when all this happens, we are slated for the week of May 23rd, but you will receive communication and outreach. And as I mentioned, plenty of support in being able to feel confident with this change. It's very simple, but we want to make sure that any questions are supported with what will provide you with documentation, and you always can reach out to us with any questions. As I mentioned, the QR code lives on. We have had great feedback. People know us for this QR code. And while it won't be the transfer point for many of you, which you're using now, if you're sending SmartCerts, you're sending that QR code to your customer, they're scanning it, which adds it to their dashboard. Now it's going to be more of an access point. So once that QR code is received with your packing list, if you're an integrated customer, it may be on your label. Scanning that QR code will be able to provide them that mobile access at any time. People like the idea of this being available to them in the warehouse at the time of assembly, so that value add feature will continue. It just won't be the transfer point. So getting into the automation. For everyone that is building SmartCerts within the platform, so this is for those that are not integrated in an ERP, there are going to be a few changes with the field information that you'll be creating. But before I get to customer-specific SmartCerts, any lot-specific SmartCerts that you're already creating, so that is, you're just simply adding the lot code into that unique identifier field and a part number. You're sending one SmartCert to many customers. When you create that SmartCert, nothing is changing with that process. You'll create those just as you have in the past. The one change that you'll see for a customer-specific SmartCert, let's say that they have unique cert requirements, or you're using the platform for PO-based SmartCerts. So these are all customer-specific. Now the functionality, when you start typing in that company name in the customer field, you'll see a list of people, companies that are using SmartCert, so that exist in our database. This allows you to select the customer associated with the order and the shipment based on location, if it's a multi-location company, but that will instantly populate that customer into that field. However, if you don't see your customer yet listed in the database, you'll be able to add them, which will signal an invitation and a click here to view your certs. So the conversation will change a little bit, but for those that you do need to add, the pop-up will provide you the opportunity to add the company as well as the main point of contact, whether that's your inside sales or a buyer. You can drop in the email invitation and link to the SmartCert once you're ready to send. This example here, you can see the one caveat that I want to make sure and mention is we are not checking that email that you're dropping in there. So just make sure that these open fields are checked for accuracy. You could edit it at any time, but that's what this will look like if a SmartCert will be sent via invitation to join and a link to add the SmartCert to the dashboard. From a delivery perspective, I mentioned the notifications. You can see the icons there. The arrows that are green would signify SmartCerts that have been sent on to customers. The grayed out ones, again, are those that have not yet been sent out. So you'll be able from your dashboard to see very quickly the status of the SmartCerts listed on your subsequent pages. The other cool feature about this, I mentioned that we're taking that share function and enhancing that with the automation. Some of you may already be used to sharing SmartCerts from your dashboard by clicking on that checkbox and then dropping in an email. And that's really, again, where this is going. In order to send and automate the transfer of SmartCerts now, you'll select within the dashboard which SmartCerts you'd like to send, or directly from a SmartCert viewer. The share is available then as well. These examples are just from the dashboard. So selecting those will either note the company that's been listed in the customer name field, or it's going to allow you for those lot-based SmartCerts to enter in a customer designation to receive them. And it will also allow, if you don't see the customer listed, to add them in. So regardless of how the SmartCert has been created, whether it's lot-based or customer-based, you'll be able to share them directly from the dashboard, and the information will be available to you in the pop-up to confirm the recipients. For the example that's on the screen right now, the selection has been for SmartCerts associated with the company Boeing. The fact that the pop-up covers some of the information on the screen, but that you may have selected SmartCerts on subsequent pages, it's just providing some insights related to the SmartCerts you'll be sharing as another step of confirmation and accuracy. Clicking that share will then deliver an email to your customers. So this has not changed. The future of emails will definitely be evolving. We had a great conversation today about what does that look like as we add more suppliers, as we add more companies. Will it serve as an email summary? So the future of the email notifications will continue to be refined. But as of right now, what is in existence works great. When you share, an email is sent providing insights related to the cert packages related to their order. This email serves as an indication. There's nothing they need to do with it in order to add the SmartCerts to their dashboard. It's more of a quick access view to each that are included, a quick link to log in, and a reference point. We also have built-in notifications related to the dashboard. So you'll see in this example, there will be an indicator of how many new SmartCerts have been received to an inbound dashboard, or for the free accounts directly to their dashboard. That notification will also be included in your global notification. So that top icon on the right side of your dashboard, which notes user activity, updates to SmartCerts, will also include the notification related to what's new inbound. Finally, all new inbound SmartCerts will be highlighted. This is a great visual indicator of what's new, but again, depending on the process, if quality managers are involved and they're going to review that, it's going to be a very easy way for everyone on the team to know what's been reviewed and certainly what's new for that day. I didn't talk a lot about our ERP customers. So all of this functionality exists in the platform. You have a lot of automation already built in if you are integrated. None of that will change, but if you do need to use the platform to resend a SmartCert, or if there was any reason that you needed to create a SmartCert on the platform, you'll be able to leverage all of this automation that is available. So every account, because we are a SaaS platform, will be updated at the same time. This information, again, and functionality will be available to you in the coming weeks. We'll send out certainly a notification as well as a guide. But as you can see, it's fairly straightforward. We've taken what's existing and we've built functionality around it. I think with that, I will find out if there are questions related to anything I covered. We can revisit and certainly assist with anything that's come up. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I could have set a 15-minute webinar, apparently. But we are really excited about this. We thank you for your patience as we have worked hard to incorporate some really excellent suggestions along the way. Like I said, it's been very exciting to talk about the future and to make advancements like this that are going to continue to provide efficiencies as it relates to cert transfer. If there aren't any questions, I thank you for your participation today. We will certainly send a replay of this video. Feel free to share it with your team and stay tuned for upcoming communications on the day of the release. Thanks, everyone.